my daughter grew up speaking the three, right? So English, Spanish, and Chinese. Now her English is like super fluent. She has a YouTube channel, slang and stuff that I don't even know she uses. You know, we'd be playing a game like Among Us or something, and she would say something like, "That's pretty sus, bro." And I'm just like, I don't even say that. I never even heard that, but YouTube, man, that's how she learned all the slang. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show today. My name is John Drummond, or Yang Haoen.
Hello, 大家好，欢迎各位再度来到 NG 英文，我是 Angela。
We have a great episode for you today with my good friend Eddy, who's known around the Taiwanese community as his restaurant's name, Eddy from Eddy's Cantina.
没错，今天我们非常幸运的邀请到 Eddy's Cantina 艾迪墨西哥餐厅老板 Eddy 艾迪他本人到 NG 英文来跟大家分享他的故事。
My guest today is Mexican-Canadian and has been living in Taiwan for quite some time. He is the founder of Eddy's Cantina Mexican food and the host of a YouTube and podcast channel called The Eddy Live Show. He is a lover of great food, great content, great people, and so much more. So everyone, please welcome my new friend, Eddy.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, brother. Welcome into NG Ingwen, dude. You are a busy man doing so many cool things around the town.
I mean, it's busy, but you know, if it's stuff you love, then it's all right. Yeah.
No doubt, man. No doubt. We were just talking a little bit off air about our mutual love for Joe Rogan.
I love Joe Rogan. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people. They're like, he went to Spotify and he sold out, and I still love him. I downloaded Spotify just for Rogan.
Me too.
You know? There you go.
Me too.
Yeah. I love it.
And I just love what he's doing, and kind of seems like we're trying to follow in those footsteps of just bringing people together.
We are. I think the podcasting thing is growing, and I think people like you, I think people like me, there's other people doing good ones as well, and just there's connecting the dots. There's cool things happening, and you know, just want to be a little part of that.
Well, can you give our audience on NG Ingwen a little introduction? Who is the man, the myth, the legend, Eddy?
I don't know about legend, but I'll tell you about myself. Nice. So I've been here for about 20 years. I am Mexican-Canadian, born in Canada. Parents are Mexican. I am a restaurant owner. My restaurant is called Eddy's Cantina. It's about, from the beginning till now, about 15 years old. But yeah, it's been a good journey, man. Lots of ups, lots of downs. And yeah, that's it. So the restaurant is my main thing for sure.
Awesome, Eddy. So kind of from your perspective now, being in Mexican food here in Taiwan for 15 plus years now,
yeah. Yep.
What would you say was the experience of getting Taiwanese locals to appreciate Mexican cuisine?
The good thing about Taiwanese people is they're willing to try something new. I mean, there's a lot of sort of foreign restaurants around here, so they're definitely down to try it at least once. So in my experience, when they come in and you ask them, you know, it's your first time eating Mexican food, you need to kind of guide them towards something that there's a good chance that they'll like it. Like for us, we do enchiladas, fish tacos, stuff like that, right? Because then you get a fish taco with some fresh pico and stuff on there. And yeah, they like it. But before, when we had the burrito stand, you know, we had burritos and quesadillas, and, you know, they would notice the burritos are big, right? They're bigger than a quesadilla. So Taiwanese people eat their beans sweet, right? So 15 years ago, nobody was doing any like refried bean style thing. And when they tried it, it was like 50-50. Some people would be like, wow, this is incredible. And I remember this one old lady, you know, she came around and she saw, you know, our sample tray, and she looks at these little pieces of quesadilla, and she also looks at these big chunks of burrito. And, you know, we're like, hey, free sample, try it out. And of course she's going to go for the big one, right? So she grabs it and she puts it in her mouth and she chews it. And then she just kind of like looks at me like, what is this? How dare you? You know, like, I'm just like, okay.
And that was because of the beans being refried and not sweet.
Yeah, exactly. So for me as well, when I had the first time I had like twabin, right? You know, they're like, oh, you get to pick your toppings. I'm like, all right, cool. So mango and kiwis and strawberries, right? And then I'm like, okay, my Taiwanese friend is like, oh, you know, I'll have like red bean and then like pinto beans, and then I'll have like green beans. And I'm just like
what, dude?
Cold?
Totally.
Cold? And she's just like, yeah. And they're putting like the condensed milk and stuff on there. And I'm just like, cold? And they're just like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I'm enjoying my thing and like, try it. And I tried it. And I mean, I didn't spit it out, but I was like, okay, 15 years later, it's okay. You know? But it's not like, it's not something that I'm going to be like, I got to have it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, awesome little kind of connection too to the culture here in Taiwan, and the main restaurant being in Tianmu.
Yes.
It's a great spot. I think I went to your second location.
Okay.
And used to watch World Cup stuff.
Oh,
there.
beautiful. Yeah. We show the World Cups. Also a big UFC fan. So the good thing about UFC is it's like lunchtime on a Sunday. So we get a pretty good UFC crowd in there.
I love that, though. You're kind of bringing multiple worlds together there.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes me think, too, about the awesome part of your restaurant has introduced you to so many incredible walks of life.
Yeah, for sure.
You now have a beautiful podcast, YouTube show.
That's right, yeah.
I believe it's called Eddy's Live.
The Eddy Live, yeah. So we just call it the Eddy Live show. So that came about because in the restaurant, I mean, over a beer or a coffee or whatever, you're always meeting really cool people. And there's just such great conversations. And then I think, you know what? This is a conversation that should be heard. This should be on Rogan, or this should be on something. And then I just think, you know what? I wouldn't mind trying to do it. So I said, okay, let's try it. I asked around and people are like, oh yeah, one guy, he's like, you know what, Eddy, let me ask you a question. And I'm just thinking, oh no, here we go. He's like, does the world really need another podcast? And I'm just like, oh,
Haters.
Wow. Oh man. I was like, yeah. So like, well, I guess we'll see. Right. So, it's definitely slow growing. It's a tough thing, but I enjoy it. I love it. I do it every week, once a week. So it's about 113 weeks in a row. And we don't plan on stopping. We did it through the pandemic, through Christmas, through New Year's, through all that. And I love it. So I've had some favorite ones. There's been some tougher ones as well. Yeah. But you just got to go with the flow. And we do it live. Like I was saying earlier, I've got this little Elgato stream deck where I'm able to just pull things up and we just do everything on the fly live. And usually it works out. Sometimes it's awkward, but it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, man, no doubt. And I love that. And congratulations, because 113 weeks in a row it's
crazy, right?
It's about where we're at. We're just hit 115 weeks in a row.
Beautiful.
So
all right,
congrats, man.
I'll take some of that. Yeah,
brother. Yeah,
I love it.
So it's great to have you on the show. And
thanks, I appreciate it.
Hear
Thanks
more
for having
about
me.
Your life like that. So thinking a little bit about the future with the restaurant, your love of MMA, and your show, what do you want to be focusing on in 2022, maybe and beyond?
So for me, the restaurant is, as long as we don't lock down again, right, is going pretty good. I've actually always wanted to, it runs well, like we don't have to go, but I want to get it really tight. I really want to get it systemized with the SOPs. And I mean, people bash me when I say it, but like a McDonald's, you put a 15-year-old in there and he's making a Big Mac, right? So that's a skill in itself, to build a system to sort of systemize your business. So I really want to do that, sort of almost like a franchisable system. I would love to franchise it every month or so. There's always somebody who's like, let's put one in Taichung, let's put one here, let's put one there. And if I were to do it now, I have to go and physically do everything. And then when somebody quits, I'm back in there. So the power of a system, that's really something I want to focus on. There's a couple other little things I want to focus on as well. The podcast, I'm just going to keep going. I actually am a big fan of Anthony Bourdain, right? I think a lot of people are.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I love, rest in peace, exactly. I love his style, and I love the fact that he's a food guy and he goes to meet food guys, So that was also an inspiration for me. I have some stuff that are a little bit more portable that I want to take out. I want to go visit restaurants and stands and stalls, and I want to interview the people, and I want to sort of record them cooking their food, similar to what Bourdain does, because I know that with technology now, anybody can just say, oh, I'm an influencer, I'm a this, I'm a that. You can, like, I got a crappy 1-star review the other day, and anyone can just write whatever they want, right? But I mean, I think when I recommend food to somebody, it helps a lot, because, you're a food guy, you're a restaurant guy, and, people know we grind our own corn to make tortillas and stuff like that. So I think it'll go well, because being a food guy, We know how much work it is.
No doubt, bro. And that's so beautiful. You know, you're going to go around the island and spread that love. Because like you said, you have so much knowledge. You know, you're an OG now in the space, and it's time to kind of pass that torch. Well, I wish you nothing but continued success
Thank you
with
very
everything
much.
you're doing.
节目上半段一开始这里啊，刚才如果你在想说，他们讲的这个 Joe Rogan 到底是何方神圣？现在马上告诉你，他呢是一位美国喜剧演员，那也有在做 podcast 做这个播客节目，而且还在终极格斗 MMA 比赛中当评论。难巧的是呢，来宾和主持人两个都是这位喜剧演员的头号粉丝，都很爱听他的节目。听众朋友有兴趣的话呢，待会也可以去找他的节目来听，磨练一下我们的英文听力哦。再来这位来自墨西哥家庭，在加拿大长大，现在落脚台北开餐厅有15年之久的来宾艾迪分享到呢，他餐厅除了做墨西哥料理以外，也会播一些运动赛事，像是世足啦，或是 UFC 终极格斗冠军赛，好让客人可以粉丝大集合，现场一起看比赛，促进交流这样子。而且因为他们也常常会有来自各国的客人，所以也算是一间蛮多元文化的餐厅。好，只是虽然说是墨西哥餐厅，而且台湾人也都还蛮勇于尝试不同料理的，可是15年前开店的时候，你想想看15年前这种咸口味又炸过的豆类啊，墨西哥这种豆类，对于我们把红豆绿豆当甜点吃的台湾人来说，就是我们会有点吃不来，甚至还曾经有客人吃了之后傻眼，觉得店家你是在跟我开玩笑吗？到底干嘛把豆子煮成这样子？好，但是这种文化背景的事情真的也没办法，对不对？像对于习惯吃咸的豆子的他们来说，如果哪天喝到红豆汤，大概也会就是觉得很不适应吧齁。像之前他吃的那个剉冰里面有炼乳啦，又有蜜红豆，整个就是很无言。这个我先生也是一直都吃不习惯绿豆汤红豆汤，但本人好几年前在古巴第一次吃到咸红豆泥的时候就深深爱上。两句片语大家来听一下。To be down to do something 意思是乐意愿意做某事，所以刚才前面来宾说 Taiwanese people are down to try at least once， 就是表达台湾人呢都会愿意至少试一次，试吃看看不同的料理，跟他上一句提的这个 willing to try 意思一样。或者是也可以懒惰指数报表就直接讲 down 就好了，说 yeah they're down 或是 I'm down， 其他就是免得自动省略。像如果朋友问你说要不要去露营啊，那你说 yeah I'm down， 意思就是好算我一卡这样I'm down。 另外一句是 how dare you， 好，这通常是火大的时候讲的，可以用来表达你竟然你怎么可以这样做，好，这种情绪。那如果改成是 how dare he how dare she， 意思就会是变成他竟然他怎么样他怎么可以这样子。再来艾迪提到说他当初之所以会决定做播客节目，做这个 The Eddy Live Show， 是因为常常在店里面都会遇到各式各样各行各业的客人，那有时候跟他们聊天聊一聊就觉得说天哪，这对话内容也太有意思了吧，大家应该也要来听听看，说不定有需要的人会获益良多，所以才会决定要边录边聊，然后放到网络上跟各界人士分享。他们每周都会更新一集听众朋友如果有兴趣的话，改天可以去听听看，而且未来他们也计划朝一个跟安东尼波登类似的那个路线来做美食节目，到餐厅啦或是一些摊贩做采访，所以 stay tuned， 敬请期待哦。对于餐厅部分，他预计未来呢可能会做有点像是麦当劳那样子，整个制作流程都系统化，好，然后做一些加盟店扩展版图。那是说这个加盟的英文大家知道怎么讲吗？我们可以说 franchise。 还有刚才艾迪用到的这个片语 go with the flow， 字面上是在说跟着水流流向走，但其实表达的呢就是顺其自然。好，那这段内容就在这边先告一个段落，我们赶快继续听下半段的分享。
If you don't mind, could we transition a little bit to kind of the story of Eddy in Taiwan?
Sure, of course.
With your language. You grew up speaking Spanish and
That's
English
right.
in Canada,
Yes.
I believe. Yep. And now you're here, you're fluent in Mandarin.
Pretty fluent. I mean, reading and writing is pretty bad, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I've been here again for close to 20 years, right? And I think when I came, everybody's like, you speak English and you speak Spanish fluently, so you'll pick up Chinese really easily. I'm like, well, they didn't help at all. The English and the Spanish did not help the Mandarin at all. It's crazy. I mean, maybe a few percentile more than not having the two, but yeah. So maybe the mindset, that's about it. So they didn't help much. And then, of course, Mandarin is a tough language with the reading and the writing. I didn't really study it. I just practiced a lot, and I speak a lot with people. And with the business, I have to use it a lot. So when we started with the stand, I had decent Mandarin, but I didn't use it. And, sometimes when you're new, you say something, you kind of mumble it. Mm-hmm. And then the people are like, oh, what did you say? I didn't get that. And you're just like, oh, forget it, So I did that for a little bit. And then eventually I'm like, who cares if I screw the words up, right? And eventually what worked for me is listening to people and kind of mocking what they're saying, like memorizing sentences as opposed to words and trying to create vocabulary and structure, stuff like that. I would just memorize sentences, and that's always worked for me. And people are always like, oh my God, your Chinese is so good, just like a Taiwanese. I'm like, well, because I memorize sentences, like the full thing.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful. That's called mirroring, and that's actually a huge technique. And
really,
so,
okay,
yeah, so something so good if you're listening to the show right now. Just listening to native speakers speak and like parroting, being a parrot and repeating their style of sentence, so efficient.
It helps me a lot.
It's actually complimentary to the speaker because they're like, oh yeah, you're kind of speaking like I am. You're matching them.
I always try to, because again, in my business, I meet. Oh my gosh, I meet so many different kinds of people and so many different stories. And some people are there's different kinds of people, right? And so I try to be a bit of more of a chameleon, right? You're just kind of like, okay, so this guy wants to kind of be here. And I'm like, okay, I'll kind of be here. Right? Sorry, bro.
No.
So I'm like, you're the same. Yeah. You got to do it because you're like, this guy's up here. I'm like, all right, I'm going up there with them. All right, well, this guy's down here. Okay, I'm going to go down here with them. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I do. And it's helped me a lot. And I've kind of BS'd my way through a lot with that. I'm not going to lie. And so that has helped me a lot in my life.
Yeah.
And I think, sometimes you'll throw in, something, Chinese or Taiwanese language wise, and people are just like, whoa, like, wow, you know that? And like, wow, because that's what I hear. I never.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's
never
beautiful. It's so cool too. And it makes me think also of your daughter and the fact that you were saying your daughter is now trying to become trilingual in her young age. Can you share a bit about that experience as a dad with language now?
So I speak English and Spanish. Sorry, my wife obviously speaks English and Mandarin Chinese, and so my daughter grew up speaking the three, right? So English, Spanish, and Chinese. And she was young, and her Chinese was just like flying, and I was going 50-50 with English and Spanish, and both of them were just so far behind. And I mean, I've only got one kid. It was my first kid, and I'm just like, she's got to have the native English. I mean, native Spanish, native English. It's hard to say what's better, but English it's English, right? You got to have the English. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to switch to full English. So we kind of dropped the Spanish for a bit, and now her English is like, it's super fluent. I mean, she has a YouTube channel. She basically is, when I take her to Canada, she plays with the kids, and everybody's just like, well, she speaks just like a Canadian kid, actually like an American kid, because the YouTube channels she watches, it's all YouTube, and it's all these American kids and slang and stuff that I don't even know she uses. We be playing a game like Among Us or something, and she would say something like, that's pretty sus, bro. She would say to me, that's pretty sus, bro.
Sus. Oh man, that's a great slang.
Yeah, she'd be like, it's pretty sus, bro. And I'm just like, well, I don't even say that. I've never even heard that, but YouTube, man, that's how she learned all the slang.
Yeah, man, no doubt. And that's where we're learning so much.
Yeah.
In our age as well. Any age is learning so many things from so many cultures on YouTube. And like you said, having that English fluency allows you to open up so many even more doors on YouTube. For sure.
So she has her own little channel. I'm trying to set it up to where we'll maybe do hers twice. It's a video game streaming channel. And the reason we started that was because when she watches YouTube or when she plays a video game, she'll just be talking. like all the YouTubers do. It's normal for her to be talking and like commentating her own video game. So, and I have all the gear. I figure we'll just turn the camera on and see how it goes, right?
That's awesome.
And she's really good, actually. It's surprising that she's so good. When she was like 5, she would say things like, "What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out my channel. Before we get started, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up and subscribe," and blah, blah. And she would just go up, and she doesn't even know what it meant, but that's just what all
hearing
the YouTubers
Dad
say.
do it and hearing YouTube, yeah.
And it would just be like, that's what she would say. So I have this clip of her when she's like 5, before she had channel, she would just say that. "Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and give us a big thumbs up."
That's so cute.
It's crazy.
Dude. That's so cool. That's gonna have to be her intro.
Yeah,
even when
it's
she's
really
older.
good. Yeah,
man.
This little 5-year-old. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And when she says things like, it's pretty sus, bro.
Pretty sus, bro.
It's like,
that's our
wow.
word of the day.
Pretty sus, bro. I'm just like, whoa, okay. And people are like, wow, she's so fluent. I'm like, well, I'll take credit for some of it, but that slang that's straight YouTube.
Straight YouTube, yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
Awesome, brother. Well, I wish we had more time here on this show. It's not a free flow format, unfortunately, like Rogan.
Yeah. Well, mine is, so whenever you want, we're going to come to mine, yeah?
Awesome, man.
We'll set it up. We'll set it up.
To
my
join
pleasure.
you.
Get some wings, yeah. Maybe a beer or something, and
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh man, dude,
Sounds
when you were
good.
just talking about Mexican food, I was getting so hungry.
Yeah.
I'm actually fasting right now. So
are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like intermittent fasting?
I
or what's
do
up?
Once a week. I do a 24-hour, and then
Beautiful.
every day I do intermittent.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, I did intermittent for a long time, and it was great. And then pandemic came, and so I got it. I'm like,
that's great. You're doing intermittent with the restaurant. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I just skip breakfast basically, right?
For sure. That's the easy way.
Yeah, and then but it helped me a lot. But COVID times. I mean, put on some weight. I got to get back. I got to get back in there. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there, but it's still, I got to get back on there. But yeah, I used to do something called the Master Cleanse. It was like the 10-day sort of lemonade diet, which was amazing, but also really tough. Yeah, especially with a restaurant. 10 days, it's like,
oh man,
yeah.
That's real. I'm impressed.
Yeah, that's good. But I mean, the 24 hours. I got to get on that too, yeah.
For sure.
Or the 3-day like GSP set on
man.
Rogan,
I just
right?
did a 5-day.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Ooh,
okay.
Man, dude,
just straight water?
I did water
Any
and
vitamins
salt
or anything?
Some,
okay.
Yes, a few minerals.
Okay,
but,
beautiful.
But didn't start that until day 3.
Okay.
And that was just, the more I was learning about it, I was like,
I love it.
Dude, I was so focused, so dialed in.
For sure,
that ketosis, I was like.
The ketosis, right? You're like blasting all that fat off, right?
Like,
I love it.
Incredible. So,
I love it. I got to try it.
Man, sounds like we're going to need to talk about more of that later.
For sure.
But
Sounds good.
A question I'd love to end with
is
if you could go back and talk to a younger Eddy, would there be any advice you give yourself about life, restaurants, shows, anything?
I would say just go for it. Sometimes when you're thinking about starting something, you doubt yourself a lot. And for me, when it really changed was, the restaurant was okay, but I was like, well, I could just fall back on this. I could just fall back on that. But when I decided to just burn the boats, just go down with the ship, that was for me the turning point, because I'm like for example, me, I haven't eaten yet today. My wife's like, should we eat first? And I said, no, because when I eat, I work better hungry. You know what I mean? Like I'm better at doing everything hungry. Like I go to the gym in the morning,
this is a metaphor, guys.
empty stomach. I do everything better hungry. And, again, when I was helping out on the weekend at the taco festival, they're like, hey, do you want to sit down and take a break? You want to eat? You want a beer? I'm like, if I do that, my productivity is going to be like this. I'm like, I'm going to go the whole day, no food, just give me water, and I'm good. And everybody's kind of like, whoa. And I'm like, if I eat, I'm just going to be like, oh, I do things better hungry. Yeah.
I love that, man. Yeah, to kind of sum up that metaphor there. Yeah, hungry for life. And
hungry for life.
When you didn't have that security maybe of a job, you burned the boats at the shore.
Exactly.
Great reference there.
Yeah.
You were hungry to succeed, and
you
and
just
look at you now.
Ride or die.
Boom.
You got to do it, right?
Respect.
Thank you,
Eddy.
sir. I appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Well, where can people find your restaurant? Where can they find your show online?
Okay, so my restaurant is in Tianmu, 63 Tianmu East Road. It's called Eddy's Cantina, www.eddyscantina.com. And then the video podcast is on YouTube. It's called The Eddy Live Show, so www.eddy.live. Bought the domain name, so it's super easy, yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
There it is. Eddy's
Yeah, man.
Cantina and the Eddy Live Show.
Appreciate
Awesome,
it.
Eddy. Well, I hope to see you on your show in the future.
Don't forget to subscribe to this show, guys. Hit that subscription.
We're going to have
Thumbs
to
up.
clip your daughter in.
There you go. Clip my daughter in. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Awesome, brother. All right, we'll talk to you next time.
Sounds good. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
No worries.
访谈下半段一开始，这位从小说西班牙文也说英文长大的餐厅老板 Eddy， 因为住在台湾，所以当然中文也是学了不少啦。但其实一开始也是蛮挫败的，常常会觉得说算了，怕会讲错啊什么，会丢脸，导致学习效果没有说很好。直到后来领悟到说就算讲错又怎样嘛，对不对？管他的，就开始会抓一些对方讲的中文句子，然后模仿人家讲的方式，开始就直接背句子，而不是一个一个单字去背。好，结果这样子反而让他中文迅速进步，尤其又是像他开餐厅遇到的客人百种，对不对？所以很容易呢也会学到各式各样的中文。那就像这样说的，这种 mirroring 这种透过模仿来学习是学语言沟通很经典的一种方式。所以下次如果有机会跟母语人士讲话的时候，记得专心听他们在讲什么，然后把听懂的部分记下来，以区块或是句子的方式去记，然后像鹦鹉那样子学人家讲话，久而久之呢就会变成是你的，就会很自然的在适当的时机把那个句子从大脑中运用到生活里。本人以前国中就这样学的只是那时候是听杂志 CD 狂听狂念，语调啦抑扬顿挫什么的都通通像一只鹦鹉一样模仿的有模有样，也才让我后来可以自在沟通。说不定听众朋友改天也可以来试试看这样子的方法哦。另外他也有提到他女儿的语言学习过程，本来一开始呢他是中文西文和英文三管齐下都会跟他练习，但效果实在不太好，搞得只有中文流利，所以后来就改成以中文和英文为主。没想到这样子一改呢，还真的让他的英文有大幅进步，回加拿大的时候也可以很自然的跟当地小孩玩在一起，完全就跟从小讲英文的孩子没有什么两样。加上网络上 YouTube 随时都会有国外人家玩游戏的影片，所以呢也让他学了很多很道地口语的用法，口语到呢连他爸我们这位餐厅老板也听不懂。讲到这个口语用法，我们当然也要来跟大家介绍一下咯。他说 That's pretty sus, bro。 好，这个 sus S-U-S 可以用来指 suspicious 可疑的，所以刚才那一句就可以理解成是在讲说大哥很可疑哦，想干嘛？所以你看打电动看影片也不是完全在浪费时间啦，有时候还是可以学到一些有用的新东西。好，这边在进入尾声分享来宾他时光倒流给自己的建议之前，和这样两个就默默开启了一个断食的话题，从让人垂涎三尺的墨西哥菜到断食也是很厉害啦。我个人是如果开启了墨西哥味，哇，那阵子每天都一定吃 tacos 的饱好，肯定没办法继续做断食。那这个断食说法我们以前曾经有跟各位介绍过，不过现在还是再来复习一下。好，除了可以就直接说 fasting， 也可以用 intermittent 或是 intermittent fasting 好来表示间歇性断食。另外一个艾迪他说之前也有做过的 master cleanse， 就是我们讲的柠檬水排毒法。最后艾迪提到真的会建议自己如果有事情想要做就去做， just go for it。 好，不用在那边自我怀疑。像刚开始弄餐厅那一阵子常常因为觉得说如果其他的工作做不好就再回来弄这个就好了，没有真的100%的去投入，直到后来破釜沉舟 burn the boats， 故意让自己没有回头路可以选，这才呢全心全意投入他餐厅经营。就像对生活的态度一样，他如果做事的时候吃东西，哇，那他的工作效率就会大幅降低，跟舒适圈让人怠惰就是同样道理嘛。那如果他故意饿肚子的话，本能就会告诉他要赶快努力完成工作才能好好休息。好，所以那时候他才会把后路都清掉都砍掉，好来专心经营餐厅。好啦，那希望大家都有从今天的内容学到一些东西，喜欢墨西哥菜的话呢，赶快找个时间去他们餐厅试试看哦。
All right, everyone. Peace.
Take care, guys.
All right. Well, that is our NG Ingwen show for today. We hope everyone enjoyed listening to that. You can connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now Spotify. You can search NG Ingwen, or you can search on IG NG English ICRT. And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday morning from 6:30 to 7 and Wednesday night from 9 to 9:30. We'll catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
好啦，今天的节目就到这边告一段落啦，感谢各位的收听，别忘了订阅我们的 Spotify 还有 YouTube 频道哦。那喜欢我们节目的话，也要记得到 Instagram 到 IG 上追踪我们哦。如果各位有什么其他问题是想要问来宾的，也请欢迎在底下留言告诉我们，我们一定会想办法帮你问到手。好啦，那就下周在空中相会咯，拜拜。